What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsupinthesky.com. More and more content going on there every day, forums, all sorts of good stuff. Come check it out. By viewer request, you guys asked for it and I'm bringing it to you. I was going to bring it to you anyway. This is from Pluto, New Horizons spacecraft. The Richard C. Hoagland show I did the other night, we did a special on just Pluto and Sirius. We talked a lot about the imaging, but these images had not come out at the time. These are of the majestic mountains. There's two here that you got. One's more of a wide view. This is, I think, about 700 miles across. And yes, it does have an atmosphere. Look at it, very much like you'd see on Mars, very much like you'd see on our planet. There's an atmosphere there. Now in the background, you've got some something coming down here. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I believe that's most likely from the long exposure. These were dropping stars, maybe. Who knows? Maybe there's also one as you get closer down to the surface over here. So nothing but speculation. I see what I see. You see what you see. Some amazing things. There's this picture, then there's a close-up of it, which takes a little. See this here? It takes a close-up of this piece right here, which is pretty amazing. And then over here, you've even got some more amazing things if you come in close and maybe do a little spin around here. We're going to see geometry everywhere. I think we're looking at yet one more planet that's been destroyed, and who knows? Like I said, this planet out there, Pluto, does a little dance with its moons as it spirals around the sun. It's very interesting. It goes above the ecliptic and below the plane, and that way it's not as battered as Mars is. So some of the stuff here can be a lot more let's just say useful data. We're not going to worry about what's down here, it's so dark, but I did want to try and pull out just a little bit at the top, see if we can't get, usually I do this before the video starts, but just because I want to take a look at some of this stuff. Tell me this doesn't look like a big huge building here. This is like I said, on the far left side you're looking at all sorts of geometry here. um, in I mean, even look at this one right here. We're looking at a, what's that, a pentagon maybe? One, two, three, four, five sides. It's got a, looks like some sort of dome on top of it. Look at the amazing structures on here. Just step back for a second, let your eyes adjust. Even to this wall slash side of this mountain or whatever this is, this cliff that comes up here, there are what looks like big, huge walls or something built into it. I'm sure they had a purpose. I always try to equate stuff to, I see what I see, you see what you see, like stuff that we know here on Earth. And a lot of times I got to catch myself doing it and say, why am I doing that? Let me put it back to how they had it. That's not too bad how we did it. Um, because if you think about it, the architecture that an advanced race would have had maybe before, before we were even here, or possibly even us, some of ours, we would have no idea how they would build or what their needs to build would be, or where this planet was at that time. We could be looking at, like I said, this is in a very pretty safe place. It doesn't get bombarded like a lot of the other planets. That's why you have some pretty pristine stuff. This is where I would go if I wanted to find libraries and stuff like that that was actually intact. I would want to send a rover to this planet just because of what we found just in these images that we find that's come back from New Horizons. So kudos to the New Horizon team who have actually made this possible. Um, Pretty cool. Look at these out here on the horizon. Let me get out my trusty old ink pen here and let me give myself a new layer. New. And we're just going to do that. I just want to show you, just do here. Oop. I'm going to set this image to a color image real fast. Oh, I used to do this a lot more back when I was back when I first started doing my videos. Now I have most of this stuff usually done before, as you'll see as I pull up the next image, but check that out there. These two as they run right through there. Here you got a square buildings. Um, Pull them off. See what I'm saying? They're just kind of parallel lines, a lot of geometry that you're going to see. Now this is one definitely to download and keep. You get down here, pretty interesting tubing, something like that. Who knows? like I said, I'm just making all speculation here, but this is pretty cool. Everywhere we go, we seem to find geometry. We seem to find, this is where we're going to look at the other one. Look at these straight lines. We find perfect curves, stuff that you would imagine would be in architecture. Now, let me go ahead and show you real fast where we got this. This is the 700-mile one. This is basically taken from a distance of 11,000 miles, and the scene's about 780 miles. Pluto's not that huge. Um, Let me see here now. Your other one, which is a little bit smaller, it's a crop out of the top corner of it, and this one's about 230 miles across, taken from the same distance. So now that one is right here, which we have. Basically, here's what I've done. Here's how it came directly from NASA. I've basically darkened it up a little bit, and I've also put a little red here, just so we can focus on some of these areas here, and we'll pull them off. Starting out with up here, this is what I saw. Some of my buddies from the UFAH, the United Family of Anomaly Hunters, had some of these up. Look at what runs across some of these. It's pretty neat. See these right here? They come across, they come up, they go down and over, and even you can see here that there's shadows under them. So they cross the mountains, whatever these things are. In here, it looks like there's a sphere right here, and then two small spheres to the side of it. Let me make that big if you can. That's about as big as you're going to get, and that's probably too blurry on your screens, unless you're looking at it on a cell phone. Sometimes I find looking at a cell phone on some of these images are even better than otherwise. And see this, it's over here, it comes across. Now this just could be top of mountains, as I say. I see what I see, you see what you see. But look at the right angle, that's not a right angle, but look at the angles of these as we keep coming across, and we're going to see more and more of it down here. Um, as it comes up and it comes across, there seems to be something. It looks like it's almost been built up that way. Like I said, total speculation. I just wanted to show you this amazing planet up close and personal. Like I said, I've had a lot of people asking me to do these videos, especially one on Pluto, because I haven't done one on Pluto except for space news. We're going to be doing some space news coming up here soon. There's a lot to talk about. Um, Fall's coming, not as much lawn to mow, not the pool to take care of. I get a lot more time, except for Sundays, football days where I'm at the games. But other than that, if the skins aren't at home, I usually be here working on some of this stuff. So, as you see, I'm just pointing out with the red some of these interesting features here. Um, on Pluto, it's hard to say. It's imagine saying Pluto. I've not said Pluto. Now, also, let's check out some of these little mountains that are kind of out there in the middle. Um, Look at this piece right here. Let me see if I've marked it. Yes, I did. Pretty cool. The looks like the same thing again, like the tubing or something. I say tubing, but that's the only thing I can think of. It looks like to me. Here you got interesting. It comes down, around. It makes a 90-degree curved angle, makes another 90-degree curved angle. Pretty cool, whatever it is. Like I said, out here, this was one I thought was really interesting. You've got a base here. See this base? And the base has something on it. So it's almost got like it's got like a bottom to it, and it seems fairly rectangular. It's got curved corners on it. And like I said, we're looking at this. Let's see, if it's 200 miles across, we're talking about some big stuff. I'd say that's probably 5 miles of base it would be, maybe even 7 miles, something like that. That's just from looking at it briefly, but look all around in here. And oh, cool. And even this piece right here looks like it's almost a beautiful curve on it. Who knows what that is? Um, but if you look next to these pieces, there's like a white foundation, even more of a foundation. It goes around and follows it and has about the same width. Here it is again over here, and then you've got the darker pieces on top of it. Um, is it ice? It could be ice that's there following, but it looks more. It looks like it's been put there. It's more to me. It does. I see what I see. You see what you see. To me, though, this one right here was pretty cool. I see you can't really see the dark. Let's try something real quick. It can't hurt us. Let me just take this and let's see, move this down. And we're just going to adjust it a little bit and try and bring out some of the, pop the gamma. You really see the bottom layer, the foundation of it when you do that. It does look two different colors. Like this is something sitting up on top of it. It even seems to have geometry to it as well. So as we push off from there and move out, move back out into here, check these out over here. These two, now this is supposedly ice here, like an ice ocean maybe or something along those lines. But look at the patterns in the ice too. It's just pretty cool patterns. Now here out here, whatever this is has two similar pieces. See that how they run up there? It's that white again. It's just too cool. I wonder if I can do the same thing out here since this is so white. Let's see if we can't darken this little spot up a little bit and see if pull out some things. Let's do adjustments, brightness. We'll bring the contrast up and the brightness down and see if that helps a little bit. You still see a lot of the look at straight lines throughout it, under it. Oop, I totally missed the top of it. Look at that. Dumb me here. All right, now let's do it again. All right, image, brightness, bring the contrast up, the brightness down, and see if we can't take a look. Look at this one over here. Look how interesting that is. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty big spear-looking buildings there, or something, whatever it is. I say buildings. I'm just equating it to what I see here on Earth when we look at things. And then here, they're not as white anymore because I've brightened them down, but you can still definitely see them there. Um, there's a piece right here, just kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. Pretty cool. Let me pull that back out this way. Sorry to make you guys sick there, but look at that. Kind of runs across like a little wall there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment below. Like I said, I know you guys have been asking for Pluto stuff. One of my favorite things is just this area right here, especially because if this is where the water was, this is like the property that would have been up front. And we're talking, of course, at the 210-mile radius, we're not going to be able to see what beings would be on there, but we would see certain architecture, maybe streets and stuff like that, big huge streets like things like this, or the cross hatching of architecture, which I think we see. I might be wrong here. If you guys think I'm wrong, tell me below. If you think I'm on the right path, at least we already know that it has some sort of atmosphere. Almost everywhere we've been seems to have it. Certain places don't. Check this out here. I don't think I did go over this piece. Whatever this pile here is seems to have a bunch of different ways up it. See this here? It's got here, up and over. This one goes over. But here too you've got it. It comes up. It's a pretty big mountain, or whatever you want to call it there. Um, that's what NASA calls them. But interesting stuff. Let me know. Comment below. Down here you've got that's pretty shiny compared to the rest of it. And it also has it's much more reflective. Um, Even down in here, you can see some pretty interesting, little spheres here. One here. A lot of spheres on these, especially with the Cirrus too. I notice a lot on them as well. Check this one out. Whatever this is has two right in the front of it. Look, let me bring it up here. 1, 2. One's a little bit smaller. This one's bigger. This one's smaller. And I don't think craters are made on the being punched into things, because you can see the picture, you're looking at it on an angle as we're going by. So all right guys, what's up in the sky 37? My name is Will Farrar. I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. Check out the website. There's a lot of people that put a lot of work into it. Thank you to everybody who helps moderate it. I couldn't do it myself. We've got What's Up in the Sky groups. We've got United Family of Anomaly Hunter groups out there on Facebook. Come join us there. All the links are on the website. Most of the links are below. Just hit the description. If you want to find these images, download them yourself, just to have even if any of this stuff is just natural, just the fact that there's an atmosphere there, look at that. That's beautiful and pretty amazing. So, all right, guys, much love to you. Hope you're having a good one. Peace.